Hey everyone, my name is Floppy, and today I'm showcasing my 6 game tick Venus farm. On the right there I have a blast chamber version using TNT dupers, and on the left there I have a wither cage version for those who either don't want to or can't use TNT duping. Both of them, however, achieve the same rates in terms of bee nests per hour at 140 when in clicker mode, and about 105 when using the farm configured in non-clicker mode. And I'll show you how to modify the farm in order to be able to use it without a clicker. But I won't mince words. I'll first show you how to actually use the farm. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to come in here, grab an axe, and then also grab some saplings. Going to get the saplings in your offhand and put the axe in your main hand, as well as fill your inventory with some block. Let me just get a glass block. It just needs to be any random block, just so that items don't fill up your inventory and that all the saplings will go into your main hand. And just flip this lever on to turn on the farm, and then you're going to want to go over here. Now, this farm right now is configured for clicker mode, so you're going to want to use your clicker. Specifically, you need the clicker for your left click, which is the attack button. You do not necessarily need a clicker for the use button, but it is faster to have a clicker for that too. But that's up to you. Now, since I'm running carpet, I'm just going to use some carpet commands to simulate a clicker. So I'll do that real quick. And the farm is running. So eventually we should see a bee nest getting mined, but it happens pretty quick, so we might miss it. Also, since it's only 140 bee nests per hour, even though that's very fast for a bee nest farm, there's still, ooh, I saw one getting mined. There will still be a decent amount of variance from hour to hour. So don't be discouraged if in the first hour you get lower numbers than what I've advertised. It will average out over the entire runtime of the farm. So let me just stop real quick. And will we see a bee nest coming out? It probably already got sucked in. So the way I collect the bee nests, let me get these collected, is that all the saplings, sticks, and bee nests that the farm collects gets dispensed into this cobweb, and then after a certain amount of time, when the item falls low enough, this hopper will pick it up, and then you can just sort the bee nests from there. Now I'm going to show you how to configure the farm to work with non-clicker. So the first thing that you're going to want to do in order to configure the farm for use without a clicker is to come up here and replace this redstone block here with an observer. Pretty simple. Then you're going to want to go over here, break this glass block here, and put it over here. Get a redstone dust and a torch. Place the redstone dust here. A lever. Place the lever there and power on the lever, and you're good to go for the top here. Then you are going to want to go around the side here, break these blocks, and these blocks, and finally that. Place an observer here, block here, solid block, it has to be, and also break this this piston here, that normal piston that I just broke. Anyways, then place a log back, and then just fill it back in with glass, making sure not to cover that hopper, just here. Break those blocks, those aren't needed anymore. And then finally, the last little modification, break those so you can get in here. Then you're going to want to remove that glass block, place a observer here, get a dropper, place it here, and then place the observer like this with its little butt pointing into the piston. And that's it. The farm is now configured to be used without a clicker. So let me get all that out of inventory, and I'll show you how to use it. So same thing, get some saplings, get your axe, fill up your inventory. Actually, let me get that in my offhand. And then go up and hold down left and right mouse button. Now you will sometimes strip the logs or mine them. That's just because you have enough time to mine them. That's actually a good thing because that prevents you from actually mining the fence. You might see the block breaking part animation advancing, but don't worry, that's just a client-side bug. Obviously, this is slower, but for my testing, you should still see about 100 bee nests per hour, give or take, depending on your client itself and your connection specifically to whether to the server, or if you're playing single player, it should be right on 100, right around there. So that's how to use the farm in a nutshell. Using the farm for both the blast chamber and the wither version is the exact same. And if you just want to know how to use the farm, that's it. That's all you need. The world download will be in the description, and then you can take that and run with it. Now, if you want to know how the farm actually works, how some of the redstone works, and how, and yeah, basically that, stick around and I'll explain that briefly. So, the first thing that you're going to understand actually how this farm works, is how bee nest generation works. So, when a birch tree grows, there is a chance that a bee nest generates with it. And the bee nest, and it is directional, so make sure you also build the farm in the correct direction. The bee nest can generate in the west, oopsie, let me orient myself, south and east directions, never the north direction. But because of the fact that moving the player is slow, therefore that'll slow down the mining of the bee nests, which would give them an opportunity to actually escape. I've limited it to only being able to mine the bee nest in the south position. And that just helps speed up the farm in general. You get more logs per hour as well. So if you even if you just see that as a nice as a byproduct, it's still nice to have. Then when a tree actually grows, the first thing that happens, let me actually go over here, is this leaf detector activates. So I like this little leaf detector, it's cute. So what happens, well, first of all, they're budded by this redstone block here. What happens is a leaf grows and it updates one of these pistons, and I need two because a leaf isn't guaranteed to grow in either of these positions, but when I have these two pistons, it'll always detect the tree growing. And that just activates the farm. It pushes up this slime structure, which activate these leaf crushers here, this stack, which redirects the dust, pushing this column of logs over to harvest the main trunk, and these leaf crushers over here. It activates all that, as well as activating the bottom log mechanism. So the bottom log is pretty simple. The first thing that happens is this fence gets pulled out of the way, so that updates this piston, which is bud powered, through this log here. Then this column here gets pushed up, so it removes the power, causing that piston to 0 tick. This is all in game tick 0, by the way. And then the fence is pushed back. It's actually 0 tick specifically, so this fence arrives back at game tick 3 with clicker mode anyway. In not clicker mode, the fence is just pushed back at game tick 4, so that it arrives a little bit later, just giving the player an opportunity to reset its mining animation. And then the farm is basically reset. And that's basically how the farm works in a nutshell. Just from there, it just goes into these log converters, if you will, and just gets pushed into the wither cage. Because it's a 6 game tick block stream, the wither cages have to be offset by 4 game ticks, simply because of how withers work, and that they can't break block 36. That's just the easiest way to do that overall. And then going over to the blast chamber, it's pretty straightforward. Just a simple dust updateless coralless TNT duper. Dupes the TNT, it falls into this water, onto this trapdoor, and then just falls and explodes into either of these chambers at a predetermined interval. And that's the blast chamber in a nutshell. All the other things that I explained about the core in this farm applies to this one. And then over here we have just some simple 2x box unloaders. This is the bone meal input. If you don't want to use box unloaders, you can just remove this from these observers up, as well as these hoppers here. You don't need those either, and just put chest towers up, and that'll work just fine. That's in 17. Venus farm, not Venus, sorry. Shulker boxes are renewable, so that shouldn't be an issue for you. And then finally, for the log outputs, you have log output here for the wither cage version, and then log outputs here and here for the blast chamber version. That's the farm in a nutshell. Oh, one last thing. Actually, I almost forgot. So if you want to actually, let me use this since I didn't modify it. If you want to actually get more logs per hour, you can actually just mine this wither roast so that bee nests don't generate. Turn on the farm, and just place against the dispenser instead. Now this allows you to place the saplings earlier, which actually increases the rates because you get more pre-bone meal. That will allow you to get up to 54,000 logs per hour, depending on your connection. And also if you use a clicker. 54,000 is if you use a clicker, and I believe it's about 52,000 if you just place against the dispenser without a clicker. So with that, I believe the farm has been gone over fully. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed, and if you have any questions, feel free to leave me a comment or DM me in Discord. So I'll see you all later. Bye-bye.